This is something you never get over with.
In this tragic time, may God be with you.
I just want to give my condolences to the family. I know police officers' job is never easy, and most police officers are just trying to keep people safe.
Just wanted to say thank you so very much for all that you do to protect us.
The Manhunt family would like to extend our condolences to the Marconi family.
Our condolences to the family, and may the good Lord give them the strength to carry on.
I feel so sorry for the family. I feel sorry for fellow brothers. We have to keep up the fight.
Benjamin Marconi, a father of two, a dedicated detective with the Special Victims Unit, and a man officers at SAPD called friend.
Ben was a great guy, and people loved him, and certainly he had an aura about him that he was not. If you had to go out of your way not to like.
His deep belly laughter that had you rolling around, and the silly things he would say.
Ben was a very compassionate officer. He wasn't like everybody else. And the people that worked with him actually knew that too. They could see it.
He had a true passion for, and a true gift for wanting to just help people. It was in him. It was built in his makeup.
So he was a nice guy, wouldn't hurt a fly. You know, and that's Ben.
There's a man that just shot a cop. A man? You said a man shot a cop? Yes. And you just got off into a black car. You said where and what? Santa Rosa.
We got an officer down in front of headquarters. Flay, I need EMS right now in front of headquarters.
He's been shot. The shot went through the head, it looks like.
Yeah, I was walking to San Antonio College and I heard shots.
50-year-old Detective Benjamin Marconi, a 20-year veteran of the San Antonio Police Department, the target of an ambush. This man was walking down Santa Rosa and saw the shooting happen.
We saw that a man shot the officer, so we walked up to the car and saw the officer was shot in the head. We turned around and immediately called 911.
Police say the officer was writing a ticket right there in front of police headquarters when a black car pulled up behind him. That's when the driver got out, walked up to the officer's window, and opened fire.
Fired one round in the vehicle, shooting the officer in the head, reached in and fired a second round, shooting him a second time.
Police say the driver then pulled around Marconi's unit, cut through the parking lot, and sped off. Witnesses tell KENS 5 they saw the driver get on 35.
This is everyone's worst nightmare. Everyone's worst nightmare. The officers on the department, the family, the people who support the police officers, it's everyone's worst nightmare.
The unknown suspect is described as a 5'7" to 6' black male wearing a gray shirt and black pants. Surveillance footage caught the suspect's vehicle, a black four-door sedan with tinted windows and black rims.
When most people are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving, fortunately, we're going to be burying one of our brothers.
And I'm going to have steadfast prayers, not only for the officer's family, but for our community. I mean, this affects the whole community. And make no mistake about it, this is pure evil when you execute an individual in cold blood. There's no motive behind it. There's no justification for something as evil as this.
An evil act against a man who dedicated years to doing good.
It's very hard to find somebody that's willing to do this profession, this job, because of the very thing that we saw today. But our guys persevere. They do it anyways because it's a higher calling. Not to sound conceited about it, but it takes a different kind of person to put the badge on to go out there and do it, because you may not make it home.
One of the first pictures sent out is this one of an African-American man wearing a black coat and Spurs hat. He has slim build and possibly a goatee. He may also have a tattoo on his left arm. Now, police are looking for him in connection to the shooting. They also want to ask him some questions. Investigators have also released a photo of the suspect's car, a black Mitsubishi Galant with custom rims.
Police say Otis McCain is the man who shot and killed the 20-year veteran.
I've been through several custody battles, and I was upset at the situation I was in. I lashed out at somebody that didn't deserve it.
When we asked why McCain did it, McCain says he was upset because he wanted to see his son. He says he was going through several custody battles.
Otis McCain was arrested around 3:45 this afternoon in East Bexar County. Now, he was inside of a car with a woman and a 2-year-old child. He was arrested by a SWAT team on I-10 just inside 1604, and no one was hurt during that arrest.
This is an exclusive look at the suspect's car before being towed away as evidence. It's the same Mitsubishi Galant San Antonio police say Otis McCain was driving before and after shooting and killing Detective Benjamin Marconi. Eyewitness News confirms the car is registered to McCain, and helping enhance surveillance images was the FBI. The vehicle was found in the 1900 block of West Poplar on the city's west side, less than half a mile away in the 1200 block of Lambrano. Police were also searching for evidence at a residence believed to be where McCain was living.
If somebody's brazen enough to shoot a police officer in a cruiser, then he'll kill anybody. So to get someone like this off the street is not just a benefit to law enforcement, but it's a benefit to everybody in San Antonio.
Hours after he's accused of shooting and killing a police officer, Otis McCain was married. The ceremony happened Monday, and a few hours later, he was behind bars.
Now, before his shooting on Sunday, the man accused of pulling the trigger had several run-ins with the law. He's also a father and a brand new husband.
I've been through several custody battles, and I was upset at the situation I was in. I lashed out at somebody that didn't deserve it.
The only custody case we could find associated with McCain was filed in 2011. Bexar County public records also show a woman filed for a protective order against McCain in 2012. That same year, he pleaded no contest to a charge of assault bodily injury to a spouse. On Sunday, the day Detective Marconi was killed, McCain went to police headquarters around 7 in the morning, says this arrest report. He talked to someone about a child custody dispute. The report says McCain left the building. Hours later, Detective Marconi pulled a completely unrelated person over for a traffic stop in front of police headquarters. Police say McCain's Mitsubishi Galant passed by his location twice. Marconi was sitting in his patrol car, writing a ticket, when McCain returned and shot him twice in the head. He drove away, and Monday, McCain was married. According to a marriage license obtained by Ken's 5, McCain married Christian Chanel Fields at 9:57 a.m. at the Bexar County Courthouse.
Surveillance video released today by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. You can see Christian Chanel Fields and 31-year-old Otis Tyrone McCain walk through metal detectors, then through the courthouse on Monday at 9:54 a.m. In the middle of a manhunt, the suspect and his soon-to-be wife walked right past security and tied the knot. Administrators with the Bexar County Clerk's Office tell us normally there's a 72-hour waiting period when getting a marriage certificate. Military members are the exception. However, if a couple requests to waive the waiting period, a judge must sign off on it if he or she believes there's good cause. We're told the couple requested to be married immediately, and Judge Walden Shelton signed the waiver and performed the ceremony.
That same police report says the rims on McCain's car were crucial to him being identified by police. Of course, by then, the pictures of that black car were all over the news. They were pretty much everywhere. The man who sold McCain the rims saw them, remembered McCain, and called police to tip them off.
The memorial for Detective Benjamin Marconi attracts visitors non-stop.
As I came this way, I saw her with a rosary, and I said, "Do you want to pray together?"
Bringing strangers together as they lay more flowers and light more candles to say thanks and offer a prayer for the Marconi family before the Thanksgiving holiday.
Our hearts go out especially to the families. This time of the year is very sad.
What does it sound like when hundreds of people march through the streets of downtown San Antonio? In this case, silence. A show of respect for a man who gave his life to protect everyone you see here.
There are easily a couple of hundred people here, and the crowd is growing. Many of these people went to school with Ben Marconi. His kids went to school with their kids. They all came to say goodbye.
Thousands turn out to honor San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi, killed in the line of duty.
I really had never seen anything so powerful. People literally pulled over on the side of the access road just to pay their respects to Detective Marconi.
Marconi's children say their dad was imperfectly perfect.
And people have asked me what I'm going to miss most. For me, it's going to be the laughter. His deep belly laughter that had you rolling around and the silly things he would say.
He was the ultimate role model, except when it came to sweets.
I could never ask for a better father. He was always there for everything. Sporting events, school, stealing JC's cupcakes, you know, he was always there. Always doing that. Yeah, I just hope that I'm half the man he was.
It wouldn't be too stretch of an imagination to see Ben up there and our Lord Jesus would come to him, tell him he's done his job, time to stand down. Enjoy your riches in the kingdom of heaven. You've saved many lives and made others richer. And I can see Ben stand to attention, square up that jaw, say, no disrespect, Lord, but my troops still need me and I'm not standing down now, not ever. And that's the Ben we'll remember and we'll love until we all see him again in heaven.
Yeah, he's still with us. He'll always be with us in heart and spirit.
How you doing, sir? I'm Marvin Hirsch with Ken's TV. Okay, so Otis, take me back to the morning of November 20th. What made you snap that day?
Sir, we're gonna have a difficult time communicating if we cannot talk about anything other than this case.
I'm sorry?
We're gonna have a hard time communicating and we cannot talk about anything other than this case. I refuse to talk about this case or what happened on those days.
Okay.
Leading up to that day. The only reason why I agreed to talk to you guys is for help to understand what I'm going through.
Yeah, he wanted us to truly believe that he is the victim in this case because of the justice system, but you know, we walked away getting the sense that he had a grudge against San Antonio police. What happened that morning?
Like I say, sir, I refuse to talk about where I was and why they put me in this situation. But like I say, I agreed to talk to the media to show my side of the story. The day that they arrested me, they didn't tell me why they arrested me. They shot at us and took us to jail. That's the only thing I want to talk about that day or the day before.
So you're telling me that you did or did not shoot Benjamin Marconi, because that day when they arrested you and you were in handcuffs and they were walking you out of police headquarters, you said that you did it because you were going through some custody situations and you took it out on somebody and you didn't mean to do that. That's what you said.
I've been through several custody battles and I was upset at the situation I was in. I lashed out at somebody that didn't deserve it.
Sir, whatever they have on film or documentations, I can't speak on. Like I said, the only thing I could tell you is that My character always been demonized, put in a situation where I look like the bad guy. I look like the suspect.
Otis, you're telling me that you are not the person who is responsible for shooting Benjamin Marconi?
What I'm telling you is, sir,
there's video of you. There's your own admission that you did it. And then you want me to come in here and hear your story about victimization. I mean, the victim in this case is a guy who's dead. You're alive. So help me understand it here.
I'm trying, but what I'm going through and what I say on camera can be used in court. So I'm not going to say anything to hurt myself or put myself in a situation that people already think.
So you are saying that then you're innocent of what you're being accused of? Are you innocent of shooting Benjamin?
If I say if I'm guilty, if I say that I'm innocent, that could hurt my case because I don't know what's around this corner. Okay. I have several cases where I was put in a situation that I was not even there at all. This is the third situation. I'm not going to disagree or agree because I have to go to court for this, sir. I have to go to court for this, sir. My life is on the line. I refuse to put myself in a situation that I'm already in.
Well, Otis, I don't want to come across as heartless, but many people would say you should have thought about that before you pulled the trigger, and shot that detective 2 times in the head. And, to come to me with a victimization speech, as I believe that you are, and you're trying to protect your case, is almost a further insult to the man that you are accused of killing. Mm-hmm. So, you're talking about custody cases. Was it a custody case that made you snap that morning and shoot the police officer? That's what I
know. I know that since 2012, I've been making police reports to see my son with the police in my face, in front of my son's mother's home, and they did nothing about it. Over 6 times this didn't happen.
Otis, a lot of people want to know why. I think that's the primary question, is why and how you could do something. Like, were you looking for somebody to kill, or did it just have to be a police officer that morning? Because there's video of you going to police headquarters that morning.
Sir, like I said, before I started this conversation, I said we're going to have a hard time communicating because I refuse to talk about this case.
Well, I'm going to communicate my questions.
I understand as an American and as a person of this society, you guys want answers. The public want answers. The city wants to know why. I want to know why myself. I want to know why people overlook my situation and put me straight to a situation where I'm demonized as a killer or a cop killer or whatever this situation put me in.
Are you a cop killer?
I'm not going to talk about anything to do with my case, sir.
But are you saying people demonize you? If you're not a cop killer, then you're innocent, right?
Only thing I can tell you is my side of the story and let you judge me.
So that is it. Are you innocent or are you not? Did you or did you not shoot him? It is a yes or no answer.
All I know is I'm in handcuffs for a capital murder charge. Whether the media, the civilians, or the police department think I did it or not, it's out of my hands.
Well, after you killed him, or allegedly killed him, you went on to even get married. Did you realize that the whole world was looking for you?
If the whole world was looking for me, that could have been a chance to pick me up if I was in the middle of downtown trying to get married. Don't you think?
That's my question. Like, who shoots a police officer and then goes
get married downtown? Exactly, sir. You can judge me at that point. The civilians, I need the civilians, the police department, and the media to understand why would a person get married before something like that, after something like that happened, and nobody didn't take them to jail at that point. That's what I want to know. If they wanted me that bad then, why didn't they take me when I was in the middle of downtown?
Did you know that the police were looking for you?
No, I did not, sir.
Did you see your picture on TV at all? You didn't realize that there was a manhunt for you?
Sir, all I gotta say is, if that manhunt was so tough, they should have got me then.
What about November 20th, 2016? That's why I'm here. I'm hearing what you're saying about your past, and you're saying that you've been falsely accused, but you're not talking about the reason that you're here, the reason that you're being held behind here on capital murder charges.
I'm not, sir.
What do you think should happen to you? Do you think that you should get life or death?
I think I need to walk out this front door right now.
Because you're innocent?
Sir, whether people think I'm innocent or not.
But this is your chance, Otis. This is your chance. When you talk about being in a situation where you can't see your son, look at the situation that you're in now. How many days do you think that you're going to see him here?
I don't know, sir.
How many times do you think that he's going to be able to Google your name, and once he Googles your name, he's going to see accused cop killer?
Mm-hmm. Life put me in this situation right here. So, I don't know what
Did life do it or did you do it?
All I know is people think I killed the cop. That's all I know, sir.
Did you?
I refuse to talk about this case, sir.
But did you?
I refuse to talk about this case.
You refuse to talk about it because the truth hurts, or the truth will incriminate you? I'm trying to put myself in the mindset of someone who just pulls up behind a police officer who's writing a traffic citation and shoots them twice and goes on with life like nothing ever happened. Okay, thank you. They're giving us the wrap.
I think so.
He's guilty, I mean.
Yeah, whatever motive was behind the shooting, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't change the fact of what he did.
Yeah, it doesn't change that he's never going to come home.
Never.
That he's never going to get to see our lives and be a part of it. It's easy for a coward to
not take responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because someone who genuinely made a mistake would own up to that mistake.
It doesn't fix anything, especially not on his part, because, you know, what did that fix for him? What is it going to benefit him in the future? Nothing. Yeah. I mean, he's going to be forever away from his children now. If he wanted to see him ever, he's going to see him through a glass panel now.
The irony of what happened is that had he just used his words with Ben, Ben would have done everything in his power to at least hear this man out and help him.
His kids say they're trying to handle this as their dad would have wanted them to, never forgetting how much he loved his job and recounting this story from early in Marconi's career.
Pulled the guy over, took his information. He didn't have any tickets, didn't have any problems. He lectured him, used big hand gestures, you know, wagged his finger, and he let him off. And he told the guy that he was riding with, he said, "Why didn't you write him a ticket?" And he said, "Because had I written him a ticket, he wouldn't have been able to put food on the table for his kids." I mean, quota, no quota that officers have to meet, everything that has to happen. In that moment, Ben chose humanity over a ticket.
The man accused of shooting and killing Detective Benjamin Marconi was formally indicted today on capital murder charges. This man, Otis McCain, was arrested back in November following the shooting. Detective Marconi was shot twice inside his patrol car as he wrote a traffic ticket in front of police headquarters. For now, McCain will remain behind bars. His capital murder trial date has not yet even been set.
Now that happened nearly 5 years ago, and today, after being postponed twice, jury selections were back on. Now 8 jurors have already been selected before the proceedings were shut down twice last year because of the pandemic. That means they still need 4 more jurors and 3 alternates. Selection resumed today with the same panel of jurors, and Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez said he was seeking the death penalty in this case. Now, court officials told us that this jury proceedings could go on for weeks. And because the pandemic has shut down or put a hold on in-person jury trials, no set date has been selected for the trial to begin.
First at noon, trial begins today for the man accused of murdering a San Antonio police detective.
Otis McCain sitting in the courtroom this morning looking calm and rather attentive even during moments of the trial when the state described how he allegedly killed Benjamin Marconi.
It felt good to shoot him. Those words came out of this defendant's mouth. He goes on to say, I wanted to make the police station feel the burn that I felt in my heart.
For the state's first witness was Eric Jimenez. He's a special projects manager with the city of San Antonio. Now Jimenez he guided the court through a series of videos from SAPD headquarters surveillance cameras. The footage showed Otis McCain in the early hours of November 20th, 2016, leading up to the shooting death of Detective Marconi.
I asked him how can I help him, and he said that he wanted to make a report, and I asked him what the report was for. He said he hadn't seen his children. I had asked him when's the last time he made a report, and then I contacted upstairs for a light duty officer to come down and make a report. I told him there was no one that answered, that I can have an officer come in from the streets to take that report. He told me never mind, and then started to walk off as I was talking to him. I followed him with the cameras. I thought it was a little unusual for him to come in that early in the morning to want to make a report and then just walk out.
And the state showcasing video from inside Marconi's patrol unit. This footage captures Marconi driving, operating his laptop, and the moments leading up to the shooting. At one point, based on the time, you realize Marconi has pulled over a vehicle for a traffic stop. Marconi then re-enters the vehicle, and minutes go by until the very moment when prosecutors say McCain comes up to his driver's side door and shoots him. At one point, you could see McCain's hand enter the vehicle, firing the second shot. Family members and jurors gasped and cried, so distressing. At one point, many left the courtroom, including one juror.
After the police officer was shot,
Ricky Martinez appeared visibly shaken as he recalled SAPD Detective Benjamin Marconi's death.
I just seen the flame coming out the gun.
November 20th, 2016, Martinez was pulled over by Marconi outside police headquarters.
I asked him why I was getting pulled over. He said that I'll come back and get to you, and he never had a chance to make it back.
He says he saw a man wearing dark clothes shoot the detective. At the time, Martinez was in his car with his pregnant girlfriend and 2 children.
I told him to stay down and just stay down.
He told the jury he believed the shooter was going to come after his family next.
I was just scared to look at anything else anymore.
Eventually, he got out of his vehicle and went to Marconi's patrol unit.
It just seemed like blood coming out.
Marconi was shot twice.
Other people coming, and they asked me, and I told them I have nothing to do with it, and I'm sorry. What could I have done? What should I have done to prevent that from happening? And I wish I could have done something.
There's a man that just shot a cop. You said ran shot a cop? Yes. And you just said off, he's in a black car. You said what? Santa Rosa. Just a second. I'm going to know. Stop. Someone stop this. One second. Stay on line.
Because I remember his eyes, it just kind of burned in my brain from that point on. So I just knew.
And you're seeing this picture the very next day. And How certain were you when you saw that picture that that same picture is the person you saw shoot the police officer?
100%.
When I first saw it on the news, I looked over to my wife and I told her, I go, this is an individual that's one of our customers at the store. And then as they started showing the additional photos on there, it was more confirmation just with the vehicle itself.
Get out of the way!
And among the many witnesses today, Officer Frances Ochoa, she recalls the tone of officer down, and that's when she rushed to SAPD headquarters and witnessed fellow officers trying to render aid. You can hear the urgency and worry in Ochoa's voice as she's driving through traffic, making her way to public safety headquarters. Ochoa arrives on scene and sees several people, including officers and a Special Forces Army veteran, providing medical assistance to Detective Marconi.
I didn't know who it was, but it's just, I know it's one of us.
What?
Once you saw who it was, what did you then do?
I ran out and I started telling everybody because nobody knew who he was.
Day 5 of the Otis McCain murder trial introduced SAPD crime scene investigator Brenda Oliva. Oliva was assigned to document and collect all the evidence marked by the yellow markers. The state played Oliva's video, which shows the inside of Detective Benjamin Marconi's patrol car. Bullet casings, Marconi's radio, and a water bottle are among the items revealed in the footage. It also reveals pools of blood. The jury got an in-person look at some of the evidence with the help of Oliva.
If you'll show the jury, please, what State's Exhibit number 105 is.
This is the traffic arm on the Santa Rosa side.
Lieutenant Brent Bell, who served as Marconi's supervisor, testified, describing the nature of his colleague's death.
It was execution style, and the location of where it occurred to us seemed to be sending a message.
Bell says there had been a pattern of officers being targeted, referring specifically to July 2016, when a gunman killed 5 officers in Dallas, injuring 9 others.
It appeared to us probable that that Officer Marconi was targeted, not because he was Ben Marconi, but because he was in a uniform. Until we apprehended this person, we didn't know when he was going to do it again. He had contacted Kevin. I knew Kevin because you see Kevin when you come in the building or you're meeting place. So a gentleman matching the description we're getting from the outside. He came in early this morning, right about roll call for us is about 7:40, 7:45, asking to make a report, and then left. He thought it was suspicious, and Kevin followed him on the camera. We had a photograph of the car, well actually a still shot taken of the car, and we had still shots of the person that had walked into the public safety headquarters earlier that morning.
We have a strong belief that this is probably our guy. This is our suspect. So we want to talk to him.
We were confident the description of the vehicle had been out there, and we knew it had, in the description we gave, we knew it would probably have damage from going up underneath those the security arms. So one of the descriptions we had was that we gave them was as likely to have either paint transfer or some kind of damage. Officers Ortiz and Henderson were working an accident right around Calaveras, close enough to be able to see a car parked that looked like the suspect vehicle, and it had that same damage.
I observed the vehicle on the right-hand side that appeared very familiar to what we had been seen to look out for, to be looking on the lookout for. We were kind of like in disbelief. We went past it slowly, started realizing that yes, that was in fact the suspect vehicle due to certain things that we saw on there.
They immediately notified their supervisors. We ended up sending covert units to watch that car.
We did stay there to make sure it was secure. At the same time, we were advised to move away from the area, but be nearby watching it. At the time that we started dealing with that, it was the actual officers that were handling the major rollover accident advised that they had surveillance video that they were looking at to see how the accident had occurred. So they said, there's a possibility that we may have some surveillance on the vehicle that was possibly about a half a block away from that intersection.
I looked to my left because the day before I had seen the news. Turned around and I saw the car and I recognized it right away. And I advised one of the officers and I told him that's the car from yesterday.
I observed a male exiting the driver's side door, going towards the trunk of the vehicle, opening the trunk of the vehicle, pulling out a pair of boots, what appear to be work boots, closing the trunk, and began walking northbound on Calaveras toward West Poplar.
What I appear, he's looking at the signs of the name of the streets where he parked, so he could know where he parked.
And do we see the driver of the Mitsubishi Galant with the distinct rims as you described, walking in along Calaveras and State's Exhibit number 137?
Correct.
So at 2:37 and 53 seconds, we see the individual enter the screen on the far left, the individual that you described who had gotten out of the Mitsubishi Galant that we saw in State's Exhibit number 136. Approximately an hour or so after that,
I was shown a call that Rent-A-Tire had called in, and it was identifying the car.
Now, the state called Justin Rodriguez to the stand. He's the general manager of Rent-A-Tire off of Bandera Road. Starting in September 2016, Rodriguez says McCain came into the shop to rent some tires and rims. They were installed precedingly, and Rodriguez observed and interacted with McCain every Friday at the store where McCain made payments. McCain paid off the tires and rims on the Friday before the shooting of Detective Benjamin Marconi.
when you saw the news, did you immediately recognize the individual?
I did. I actually told my wife, I was like, that's Otis McCain right there. That's one of my customers.
The rims or the wheels were very distinctive on the car, and I believe had a lot of chrome. The information we got coming from the Rent-A-Tire was that this customer had bought a very specific set of wheels. We kept surveillance on him, and we also tried to tie in any other associates with Otis McCain.
So the information that I received when I relieved the daylight detective at the time was that these were possible apartments that were associated Mr. Otis and a girlfriend.
A woman named Christian Fields. She was listed as a friend, but I think she was a girlfriend.
Was there a time on November 20th of 2016 that an individual identified to you as Christian Fields checked into a room?
Yes, correct.
They tied in a white Buick to Christian Fields, and Danny Martinez was one of the coverts, and I believe he spotted the white Buick and Miss Fields. I don't know if he knew it was Miss Fields, but a woman getting into the white Buick, and so they got eyes on that Buick as well. So it wasn't just the black car, but now this white Buick was being kept under surveillance.
Correct. They were walking across the street to the corner in front of the Palo Elizondo Tower. And you see there that the suspect and his female companion are entering the facility and going through the security screening process. That is the inside of the Vital Statistics Marriage License Office.
When he came in, he was in a good mood. He told me good morning, and I told him good morning back. I work for the Bexar County for Gerard Rickoff, and I give up marriage license.
And at that point, did you issue the license to them?
Yes, I did. That's when they go look for a judge.
Okay.
So during the time that I had my position, we have other detectives that are surrounding the area, and the information was that there was a vehicle that was coming down or passing Sarsomora towards the 1200 block of Lombrano. And so I was able to get the license plate and provide that license plate to the people that are in the background, right, where they actually can get or run the registration to this vehicle. I could see the female driver. She exits the vehicle, but at the same time, I noticed that the front right passenger seat, you can't see it in view. It's either missing or it's reclined all the way back. A lot of times you'll have somebody reclined because they don't want to be seen, and so they're hiding. She went inside the apartment. Short time, a couple minutes afterwards, she came out with a couple of bags, went inside the vehicle, and she drove towards where I was at. We had our helicopter Eagle up. We had other officers around the area. They were able to locate the vehicle.
Today, the jury got a bird's eye view of the takedown mission of the defendant, Otis McCain, and this happened just a day after the shooting death of Detective Benjamin Marconi. His wife, Christian Fields, and a child were also in the car. At one point, you see the vehicle make a stop, and then you see the deployment of a flashbang grenade and a San Antonio SWAT team closing in on the vehicle.
The defendant been stopped on their way to Houston.
Taking my glasses.
What I'd like to do is sit down and talk with you a little bit.
Well, brought to the stand was the homicide detective who first interviewed Otis McCain the day after he had been arrested for murder. Now, he's Detective Mark Duke, who happened to know Benjamin Marconi, the state questioning Duke about the moment he learned of the shooting outside SAPD headquarters to the moment McCain was apprehended the day after. Duke recalls interviewing McCain on that day after on the third floor of SAPD headquarters. Authorities provided McCain a blanket and a drink with a straw. Now, Duke says McCain was handcuffed during the interview and did not request an attorney at the time.
You have any kids?
Yeah, I got one son, 6-year-old.
What's he like? Is he like cartoons or?
So I haven't seen him in the last 2 years, so.
You hadn't seen him in 2 years? Why?
I went to, because me and my son, mother, when we first started talking the first 6 months, everything was good, and she had got pregnant because we had a rushed our relationship, so she had got pregnant, and we kind of argued about that for the next year and a half as our child was being born, and as I started noticing that she was cheating on me, I was on Facebook, I didn't do anything right. I just went to work every day.
So you're out there working, and she's out there messing around.
Yeah, she's out there messing around on Facebook every day.
Did you say this?
And when I started figuring out she was cheating on me and making me late on purpose, she knew to cut me off. Because I told her that when I get off probation, I'm stop dealing with you because you're off your mother, you don't work, you don't do anything, you stay on Facebook.
And did he tell you whether or not there was a protective order against him?
He said there was.
Okay, and what is a protective order?
A protective order is an order by a judge that says an individual they can't be within so many feet of where the protected person lives, where the kids go to school, where the protected person works.
I'm going to work faithful. I don't want to do nothing.
Are you working right now? Man, I hear you, bro. I don't know how you made it this long. I don't know how you made it this long.
What, man? And she keep on waiting me like I ain't nothing. The person don't have nothing to do with nothing. It's all right, though, man.
No, it's not all right, man.
What can I do? I can't. I just go away.
Well,
the first 2 years we were together, the first 6 months he was here, I had to make a police report on her because she tried to kill me, baby.
What'd she do? What'd she do? She tried to run you over. Why do you think you're here today talking with me?
I don't know, sir, but my
this comes to is it comes to yesterday, what happened yesterday. Okay? And this is what I think. And then now after talking to you, I feel I can understand it a little bit. Okay? And I may be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like Sunday morning you came looking for some help from the police. Because we all know that you came down here. We have the video of you coming down. We have video of you driving away. We know that you were here, and I think you were asking us to help you.
So I was like police station in the morning.
We have you on video walking up, looking inside in the window. We have you coming in, buzzing in the front door, coming in. We have you on video coming up to the front counter. We've got video and audio of you speaking. We've got several cameras asking you to make a police report for visitation violation.
So they're saying like they see me in the police station. That's me, like that's me.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
Why do you say there's no doubt?
But there's no law against coming in asking for help from the police.
I know you trying to say that you're trying to make me look like there's something to do with that shooting.
What shooting?
Shoot, I don't know, man. That's why I'm scared, like, what the hell is going on? I'm going to talk about my child so I'm thinking y'all trying to put hurt on me because they was, my people were calling me talking about, somebody got killed and look like you, and so I'm like, man, I'm at home, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you right. Okay, I did go down to a police station to make a police report for my son's mother.
And that's your money.
Yeah, after that, well,
we've had some people call in after our officer got killed. And we've had some people call in and tell us that you were the one that shot him. We started looking at the video surveillance around the building. We were able to follow you. Went out the building, turned, went down the side of the building, and went across the street and got in your car that was parked in that parking lot across the street. Okay. And that car, when you pull it out, it's clear as day that what kind of car it was. We know that at first we were able to determine that it was a Mitsubishi Galant. We knew it was between 2009 and 2012. We noticed that it had some aftermarket rims on it. Really, it's a nice looking car. And then we went back to the shooting, and we were able to show that that was the same car that the person that did the shooting was driving.
So that's going to affect the car and look like mine?
Well, no, that's why I need to finish the story. Okay. There was 15 witnesses that saw it, plus the video.
Yeah, but
hold on, I need to explain it to you, okay? We've shown the lineup. They picked you as a person that drove up in that car, got out, and shot the officer.
the only way to pay this society back is to lash out. I was mad, I blinked out, I took on the first person I seen because I have nothing to see that for. It could have been a 21-year-old.
Now, the question of whether McCain shot and killed Marconi was confirmed by McCain himself in the interview with Detective Mark Duke.
I'm sorry, I apologize. That was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life, but it's the only thing I ever really go to jail for myself. how idiotic can a person be to sit there and tell you that? How dumb can I be to admit to a murder, knowing I just did it because I don't care about nothing no more? I apologize to the officer I killed, the family, the judge, the society, everybody in this country. Whenever y'all give me a death penalty, man, whatever y'all do to me, I know y'all have to prove a point to everybody else that this is not the way to do things, to prove things. But I just want to let everybody know that I tried to do everything I could before I started the police officer. Over the last 11 years, I've been through hell, so I wanted to make the police station feel the burn that I felt. There was no justice in what I did. There was no thinking in what I did. I knew from the moment that I pulled that trigger that I wasn't the right thing to do. I wanted to cry and apologize to this person and their family, but it's something in my heart just won't let me, man. I don't care about nothing, man, because I don't have nothing to live for. The only thing I want to do is hurt somebody because I know my life ain't nothing, sir. Do you still feel that way? Yeah, absolutely. Do you still want to hurt people? No, sir. The fact that I did that makes my life over, and I understand that.
McCain pleading the Fifth, elected not to testify in the course of this 3-week murder trial. The defense poked at the state's arguments and evidence, questioning if some of what McCain said, quote, under his breath, one of those statements being, it, quote, it felt good to shoot him, end quote.
It was an execution. This coward has to sneak up on somebody from behind and put the barrel of a gun directly on his head. Lying initially 5 times about even being down at the station, and then lying a total of 19 times before he ultimately admits to what he did. And of course, all that was after he was trying to find out from Detective Duke, hey, how much do you know? He was trying to see, is there any room, can I get out of this? Can I get out of this? Ladies and gentlemen, we have proven beyond what I would say is all doubt that Otis Tyrone McCain intentionally and knowingly, on November 20th, 2016, didn't even have the guts to look Marconi in the face, punched 2 bullets into his head.
Now, all I'm suggesting to you, if you look at that, remember, he goes to the car, he gets Ricky's DL, he comes back, the return comes. Okay, once the return comes, start writing the ticket. Now you think, that's not a long time, right? But remember, at that point, you can start writing the ticket. Let's see what a minute and 49 seconds is. Really. Because it's important. He could already be writing the ticket. And nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. That's 30 seconds. Why no ticket? It's a minute. It's in a minute and 30 seconds. It's a minute and 49 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. No ticket. Remember, we don't have to bring you the ticket. You're going to see in photographs, the ticket is on the dash. They could have brought you the ticket. Marconi could have been writing guy's name, driver's license, whatever. Not a halfway written ticket. Nothing. They have to prove to you that at 11:38 and 27 seconds, he was acting in the lawful discharge of an official duty. I'm not impugning Officer Marconi's character in any form or fashion. From all appearances, he was a good guy. All I'm suggesting to you, to really ask yourself, did the state prove to me at 11:38 was Officer Marconi in the acting in the lawful acting is not a state, okay? It's not like, oh, I'm a lawyer, that's a state. Marconi was a peace officer, that's a state. Acting is a fact question. And it is also not this. Well, I'm kind of sure he was acting in the lawful discharge. That's not beyond a reasonable doubt. If you say, well, I'm about 51% sure that Marconi was acting in the lawful discharge, that's not good enough according to your oath.
Mr. Pettis made a big deal about the 1 minute and 49 seconds. And we all had to sit and wait, right? We had to wait while the clock went to 30 seconds, to 1 minute and 30 seconds, until it hit 1 minute and 49 seconds. The entire traffic stop is on video. It's right here for you to see. There's no evidence Detective Marconi was on Facebook, on Twitter. You know what those are? Those are distractions to get you to think about something else instead of focusing on what Detective Marconi is doing, that he was acting in the lawful discharge of an official duty. I don't know how long it went on about all the text messages and stuff that Detective Marconi received. We know from the testimony, and the defense said the state didn't want you to have it. Well, guess what? We don't think it's relevant. And what else do we know? We know from Detective Duke that there is no prohibition against officers sending or receiving personal text messages. And we know from Detective Duke, too, who looked at the records, that Detective Marconi receives 3 more, kind of back-to-back, 11:32 and some seconds, 11:32 and some more seconds, and a few seconds later, 11:33 and 10 seconds. But there is no evidence whatsoever that Detective Marconi saw those or he read those. We have no evidence of that. You heard it from multiple police officers, including higher-ups, the higher-up ranks, that when a San Antonio police officer is conducting a traffic stop, pulling someone over on a traffic stop, that they are acting in the lawful discharge of an official duty. We sat for over an hour and listened to 2 of the defendant's attorneys talk to you. And not once did you hear anything about this defendant's actions. Remember? You didn't hear what Otis did, that he came to the police headquarters that morning. You didn't hear about Otis putting 2 bullets into Detective Marconi's head. You didn't hear about any of the statements that he made to Detective Duke. You didn't hear about what he did after he busted through those arms at the SAPD headquarters, right? And why didn't you? Why didn't they tell you about that? You know why. We all know why. Because if they talk about that, then they're talking about this defendant's guilt. Right? We saw it. This case is clear. It's straightforward. And we brought you the evidence through multiple witnesses about this defendant's actions and the statements he made about his actions. We are here because of his actions and what he chose to do. This was an intentional and knowing act. He took this man's life away. Detective Marconi did nothing wrong. He was doing his job. But he decided he was going to end his life. He decided by putting the gun and shooting him first in the cheek and making sure that it was over. For Detective Marconi, let me get one more shot at it. And he shot him in the back of the head. 20 years of service with this police department ended like that because of his choices, because of his actions. This defendant is guilty of the capital murder, and we ask you to find him guilty. Thank you.
We begin with breaking news right now. Otis McCain has been found guilty of capital murder, the killing of SAPD officer Benjamin Marconi. Moments after the jury announced their decision this evening, Otis McCain threw an elbow at deputies, several tackling this convicted cop killer to the ground.
As soon as Otis McCain heard the word guilty, I counted. It was less than 3 minutes before he snapped.
We, the jury, find the defendant
Otis McCain visibly uncomfortable after the decision came down, unbuttoning his shirt and putting his hands together face down. Then minutes later, McCain unleashing his anger. Elbow to the face, the defendant without handcuffs lunging at a bailiff. Nearly a dozen people rushing to take him down.
And in regards to the bailiff that was hit, the DA says he's okay.
The jury has spoken. Their next critical task, deciding life or death.
It's a whole separate trial.
Former Bexar County DA Nicola Hood explains sentencing is about 2 issues. One, if he's a future threat to others.
A future danger. If he's going to come out and act like that in court, I mean, the argument could be made that in a court of law, bailiffs, people around him could be in danger, and obviously it's not to that extreme.
Number 2, LaHood says any redeemable quality that would warrant life or death.
So there's a mitigation aspect to it, and that's where mitigation experts come in from the defense, and the state obviously argues against that, but then that's where that battle is over those 2 issues.
LaHood says McCain's outburst will likely be a part of this deciding process.
It definitely does not play well, in my humble opinion. And so they're going to try to present their client in a way that the jury's going to lean towards or have reasonable doubt towards death.
And that same bailiff happened to testify today, was called upon by the state. Now, he's Isidro Gonzalez. He noticed unusual behavior. McCain was unbuttoning his shirt, cuffs, and removing his tie. Now, this was after the guilty verdict had been read by Judge Ron Hell. Gonzalez told the court he asked McCain twice to get up so he could be escorted out, but after no response, he got the handcuffs out, which is when McCain is shown on video from multiple angles, elbowing Gonzalez the left side of the face and then attempting to land a punch. And this is the most emotion McCain had shown in the past 2 weeks of the trial that I had observed, other than wiping away tears while watching a portion of the confession video.
And what were you concerned about?
Him either trying to take a weapon from one of us and trying to escape. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking. You know, he's getting violent. I mean, it's just the safety of everybody else in here.
Oh, yes. My name is Sahara Cahill. I am the ex-girlfriend of Otis McCain.
So you eventually gave birth to a son, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And how would you say your relationship was with Otis McCain prior to your son being born?
It was, I didn't really pay attention to some of the red flags.
When you gave birth to your son, did the defendant come to the hospital?
He did, because at the time I was about to go to delivery, and I choose not to let him go.
And,
He didn't go to the room with me.
and why is that?
It's just that I didn't feel like the need that he needed to be there. He offered for me to move in with him at one point, but I refused.
And why did you refuse?
Because I felt like I didn't think it was a good idea at all. After seeing what I dealt with him within the relationship on and off again, it wasn't worth it. And it would just lead to more problems.
Have you ever been physically violent?
Yes.
Has he ever been verbally abusive?
Yes. He really wanted to see his son. He wanted to do his best to prove that he could be a father to my son. But even the fact that he couldn't keep a steady job, he couldn't hold a job, and along with both financial issues and other struggles along the way, he was having a hard time to do so.
Was there a time that you had to get, or that you decided to get a protective order against the defendant? I guess it started out as a temporary protective order and then moved to a protective order.
Yes. One thing I could say is I was very scared. I was terrified. It was not for my life and for my son's. Like one of the most scariest incidents that happened was when me, Otis, and my child were in a car, and we were on a road. We were on an access way, and at that time there was a big disagreement. I was pretty much the driver. On side of me, Otis was on the passenger side, and then my child was in the back seat. And at the time, while we were on the road and we were having like this argument, he suddenly grabbed a hold of the steering wheel and he was immediately trying to get us off the road, trying to crash us into a ditch or so. Because he was angry, his behavior just changed automatically. It was like if things didn't go his way, he would try to figure out a way to do so. So he was just enraged. He didn't like what I was saying, and he wanted to just take control. He threatened to kill me. And not only that, he endangered me and my son and himself. There was so many signs that his behavior wasn't changing. It was pretty much the same. He was always angry, he was always frustrated, and I wanted to pretty much show proof that for myself that I'm better than this. This shouldn't happen to me, this shouldn't happen to anybody. I did what I could at that time while trying to calm myself down, because I was, given the fact that what happened, in the midst of the panic, I was trying to calm him down. Because if I can calm him down, then we would be able to manage to get off the road and like go to our destination. I know with another incident that happened was also the one over at McDonald's. It was just that seeing as my son was in a play place, he was playing around. Pretty much, I was sitting down. I was trying to just keep away from Otis, but he wanted to know what was going on with me, what I was up to. It was to the point where I had to take my son and have to go to the back of the restroom and to mention to the manager over at McDonald's to call the cops. The three of us, me, my son, and Otis, were outside because he eventually got a hold of my son. He was pretty much walking out in the parking lot. He was pretty much walking out, heading to the sidewalk without just leaving McDonald's with my son at hand. Yes, I called my dad because he wasn't too far from the area. So that's why he immediately arrived to the scene.
My daughter called me saying that she was having a problem with Otis McCain. So I went up to the McDonald's in the parking lot. Well, he had my grandson in his hand. I wouldn't let him go because my daughter, there was still friction going on. My daughter was ready to leave and he didn't want to let my grandson go. And just running all around the parking lot. I'm right behind him, pursuing him to catch him. I finally catch up with him and get him a chokehold to release my grandson.
Can you tell the members of the jury what kind of profanity he was using towards you, the father of his son, the grandfather of his son? What kind of profanity was he using?
So come on, mother. Come on. Backpedal, do that. Come on.
He was ordered to pay approximately how much money per month?
About 131 or so, around that.
Okay. And did he regularly pay the child support?
Absolutely not. Not regularly.
So November 20th of 2016 is the day that the defendant shot and killed Detective Benjamin Marconi, that Sunday. Prior to that day, November 20th, 2016, when's the last time you or your son saw the defendant or had any contact with him prior to that day?
Not since that incident that happened in McDonald's, and that was in 2014.
Okay, so 2 years had gone by.
Yes.
And you hadn't spoken to the defendant? Nor had your son, you nor your son had seen or spoken to the defendant?
We haven't met in person. He would just frequently text here and there, but I wouldn't hardly communicate with him.
And why was that?
It's just to protect myself and my son.
Would you describe your family as being close-knit?
Absolutely. At the time, we only had one grandchild. We now have 5 grandchildren, soon to be 6.
Did Ben get to meet any of these grandchildren?
One. He got to meet the oldest. He was so excited to be a grandparent. He loved kids. You've already heard that. But to have his own grandkids, he was ecstatic. He was so kind and gentle with children that I believe he couldn't wait to help mold our children into the people they would become.
Crystal clear that he just loved Mason. And, you know, my heart does break. Because he only got to know him for a short time. Getting a phone call from a sergeant who's at Sancy. And she's telling me that an officer's trying to find my home to come pick us up. My phone's ringing and it's my youngest. And I think it was a scream that I relive it so many times with him calling. I guess detectives were looking for video because of where he was in the room that he was monitoring for dispatch. And I guess someone told him that it was his Uncle Ben. And he said it's Uncle Ben and he's dead. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. That this was my brother who had just been murdered.
I have always thought of myself as a strong person, but since then it feels like I have to be stronger because he was such a strong person and I want that to stay alive.
The defense brought one of Otis McCain's best friends to the stand, Reggie Alderman. Alderman let McCain in 10th grade. They just connected instantly at Fox Tech High School. Both loved basketball and grew up in single-parent homes. Alderman credits McCain for getting him out of a bad domestic violence situation at home.
His house to me and opened his door to me, and really, honestly, saved my life as far as I don't know where I would have been if I didn't have nowhere to go, you know.
Now, during these times, if you know, was he still making efforts to try to see his child?
Yes, he was. He's actually staying with me during that time of the protective order. So I seen him attempting to contact her. I witnessed her not allowing him to see him. Those late nights when he was crying or telling me how much he missed his son, I was there.
You know, in this moment, it's hard. This is a difficult situation, and I mean, we see Otis over there, and he's serious, and he has to be serious because it's a serious situation. But y'all are missing the Otis that I met, that I knew for 3 years. He had giant smiles. He had jokes and laughs, and he would go back and forth with you. And you can't see that today. You can't see the humanity that he is. The smile that he would give was it just would light up a room. Him and his cousin and the whole crew. They were the whole bunch of his friends. They were really a joy to coach. I would say that a person is not the sum of a person is not his worst event, his worst act. That's not the sum of a person, and I don't believe that's the sum of Otis.
You know, what kind of toll did it take on Otis not to be able to see his child?
It hurted him. He was upset.
Then if we fast forward to November the 21st, at some point you found out that Otis had been arrested for the capital murder. And ma'am, do you love Otis?
I love my son. I love my son. I love my son. He told him about coming to tell me I was so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I was there.
Do you love your brother?
Yes, I love him with everything I got. He's one of the main things that keeps you going.
Do you want to continue learning from him?
Yes, sir.
The good things.
Yes, sir.
Dr. J. Douglas Crowder. He's the man that was hired by the defense team to interview McCain 3 times, once in 2017, another time in 2020, and lastly in June of this year. Now, Crowder says McCain continued to maintain his innocence of shooting and killing Detective Benjamin Marconi. And Crowder analyzed the confession, video, and perp walk footage to further make conclusions about his mental state. He says McCain's use of certain drugs such as Spice or K2 may have contributed to some of his behavioral issues. The state grilled Crowder for not being better prepared as far as knowledge of key evidence and testimony. Crowder says he never knew about the choking incident involving McCain and his ex-girlfriend, Shariah. He also confirmed to the jury he never watched the video of McCain shooting Marconi.
During my interviews, he didn't take responsibility for the killing. What he did express was that he was sorry for the sadness that had resulted.
This is a dangerous man. What makes him even more dangerous is that when he hears facts that he doesn't like, according to the defense team and their own expert, that provokes him. And remember, when he was provoked, and they wanted to point out to you that I provoked him, he doesn't come after me. I was standing right here. He could have come after me. What does he do? No, he goes after an innocent law enforcement officer. That makes no sense. But that just shows, once again, the defendant's hatred for law enforcement, which has been consistent throughout the presentation of the evidence.
Has the state proven to me, beyond a reasonable doubt, that this person is probably going to commit criminal acts, not an act, acts of violence, so that he's a continuing threat? And every incident in this case, once the situation ended, the threat ended. And I submit to you, the state has not even come close to proving that he is a future danger. Thank you.
The Supreme Court has said that the death penalty is for the worst of the worst. And we talked about for the hour with some of you. Ted Bundy, raping, maiming, and killing women. I think it was like 30 women, you know? Look at the comparison I said earlier about the lady at the HEB, this young mother that gets killed. We can't do anything to that guy. And now Otis is worse than that guy because it's an officer. Is that really what we're gonna do as a society? Whatever is mitigating to you, whether you want him to leave him alive for whether you think, man, he's not escalating in crime, I don't think he's gonna be a bad guy. If you say, man, this research, I didn't know it, that we're killing young black men, and then they're really not dangerous, for whatever reason that you think, without any measure, okay? I submit to you that there's sufficient mitigation to answer this question such that he gets life without parole. And again, we're not asking you to let him go, okay? And life without parole, one way or the other, he's gonna come out in a coffin, okay? But I would say to you that as a society, and I mean this with all due respect, and I mean it, can we please stop killing young black men, you know? Really. I think it's time. We've had enough death in 2020, man. You know, maybe we ought to stop. Thank you very much.
Mr. Pettis ended his closing argument telling you that you should not vote in such a way that this defendant receives the death penalty because of the color of his skin. There is nowhere in this charge, in this law, that mentions race. There is nowhere in this charge that says that a person based on the color of their skin should not be held accountable for their actions. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, justice is blind. And it needs to be blind so that everyone, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless, gets a fair trial. This family right here, wouldn't they give anything to be able to see him? To visit him on Sundays, Saturdays, Sundays at jail, like this defendant's family came? To write letters to him? To tell him that they love him? To put money on his books? To pay for his commissary? Wouldn't they love just to have 1 minute with Detective Marconi?
The jury will go into deliberation once more to decide the fate of Otis McCain. He faces either life in prison without parole or the death penalty.
But before the jury started deliberations, McCain asked if he could speak.
I just want to make for the record.
You can't do that.
Choose to testify.
You can't do that right now. Defense, you got closing.
McCain did not take the stand.
Breaking news tonight, a jury sentences Otis McCain to death for killing San Antonio Police Detective Benjamin Marconi. Jurors unanimously decided on the death penalty. This is McCain just seconds after the judge read the jury's decision.
Well, after 8 long hours of deliberation, the jury coming back to the courtroom with a verdict. And there was complete silence in the courtroom as Marconi's family waited for the verdict to be read by Judge Ronhell. Now, Judge Ronhell went down the 2 rows of jurors confirming each decision. Now, sighs of relief could be heard in the courtroom from Marconi's family. Tears and hugs followed. And as McCain left the courtroom, he was escorted out by the same bailiff he happened to attack a couple weeks ago after he was found guilty of capital murder.
The jury has spoken. We know this was a very difficult decision for them. It was not easy for them to reach this verdict. We want to thank them for their service. Nothing that we did here is ever going to bring back Detective Marconi. It is my hope that with this verdict, it brings closure and some sense of peace to the Marconi family.
While we hoped for a different result, you have to respect the jury's verdict. And so we just hope that they made the right decision.
And we just received a statement from Detective Marconi's family. They thanked the district attorney and prosecutors, saying, quote, "From the bottom of our hearts, we are extremely proud of all the hard work you put into bringing justice for Ben and finding closure for our family." They went on to say, quote, "To Detective Benjamin Edward Marconi, thank you for making our lives better and the lives of everyone you touched. You are eternally missed, and we will never forget you. Rest easy, sweet Ben."
I did not kill anybody, so a vision of me killing somebody is not in my head.
He's been in jail for more than 5 years, and if his conviction holds up, that's where Otis McCain will die. But McCain says that won't happen without him giving his side of the story. McCain is appealing and gives me his version of what happened.
When you hear the name Benjamin Marconi, what do you think? I think all this is messed up. I think that it hurts to know that somebody lost their family member.
When it comes to his capital murder conviction, McCain says he's not the guy.
So let me get this right. You say you're innocent. Right. Did you or did you not shoot and kill Benjamin Marconi? No, I did not.
You did not?
No, sir.
So who killed Benjamin Marconi if you did not?
I do not know.
So Otis, you sat in the same courtroom. You saw the same video that I did.
Right.
Do you remember the video of the person running from the car up to Benjamin Marconi's car? They said that was you.
That's what they say.
McCain says the video evidence against him never showed a face identifying him, and he says pre-trial publicity prevented him from getting a fair trial. But the Bexar County District Attorney says McCain did receive a fair trial and was well represented by competent counsel.
What were your thoughts when they said that you were guilty? I was devastated. I was hurt, mad.
You say you're upset, right? Devastated. Then there's the point where they're trying to take you out of the courtroom and you elbow the bailiff. Can you explain to me what that was all about?
All my life, I tried to do what was right. And to be convicted of something I didn't do, I would have to be crazy and sit there and wither up and walk out of that courtroom without a fight. The hurt in my heart caused me to override my thought process and do something I really didn't want to do. But I was messed up in my mind and hurt.
His appeal is automatic because this is a death penalty case, and winning life off of death row may be a long shot, especially in the killing of a police officer.
You never see that police officer in that car ambushed as a person shoots him twice
that is never processed in your head?
I did not kill anybody. So a vision of me killing somebody is not in my head.
Otis McCain says his confessions to the capital murder of Detective Benjamin Marconi got mixed up, even though there's video evidence of him confessing to a police detective.
I want to apologize to...
He says the first mix-up came at his perp walk for capital murder.
I lashed out at somebody that didn't deserve it. I'll be honest with you. I was high, I was paranoid, I was hurt by what I just been through with the interrogation, and I was confused as far as all those questions that was being thrown at me at one time, and I feel like people misperceive what I was trying to say.
The 36-year-old claims he thought the media was asking about a domestic incident with the mother of his son, so he says that's what his admission was for, not Marconi's death, though that never came up during his trial.
So I think people misperceive that as me admitting something to the cameras that, oh, he shot him because his son. And then they asked me, how do you feel about Marconi's family? I told them, like, I'm sad and I feel like that should never happen.
Then his arrest. He confessed to killing Marconi in a fit of rage, repeatedly admitting he'd done wrong to a detective.
I knew from the moment that I put that trigger. He just wanted an answer that fits his, criteria. And in my state of mind, I gave him what he wanted, which was the wrong thing to do, knowing that I was innocent. Just say things to be apologetic, so when we do go to trial, I can at least get a life sentence instead of a death sentence.
He disputes key video evidence, him coming to public safety headquarters the morning of the killing and rushing Marconi's police vehicle with a gun.
I'm innocent. I did not commit a crime. I did not commit a murder. That's what I'm saying. Everybody know when you're in trial, the only people that's speaking is your trial lawyers and the prosecutors and the witnesses and the experts. So you can't really, unless you go on to testify, which I wanted to. I felt I'm not gonna go into that because I'm not gonna go into detail about that. But I just want to tell you that, yeah, I wanted to testify. I wanted to tell my side of the story.
The 36-year-old didn't get to testify. His defense team called one witness. Meantime, the prosecution put on 2 weeks' worth of evidence. McCain recalls it.
Maybe I should just give up and hope that they don't give me the death penalty because people will never believe me anyway because I'm black.
The facts as I remember them had very little to do with you being a black man.
Right.
They were all about your son.
Right.
And your lack of access to your son. McCain, who had not seen his son for more than a year at the time of Marconi's murder, claims police used his custody issue as a motive, though he offered no new motivation for Marconi's death because he maintains his innocence, despite video evidence placing him at the scene in action.
So if the family of Benjamin Marconi sees his interview, they are probably not going to believe a whole lot of what you said.
I mean, that's their right. That's their right. I'm not here to tell people think this way or think that way. I'm here to tell you what I think, what I know. You know what I'm saying?
Since August, McCain has been where no one wants to go.
I look at the walls, I look at my bed, I look at the faucet, I look at the door, and I say, man, I'm on death row.
Unless a court sides with an appeal from his legal team, McCain's death will come as no surprise. His end won't be a violent ambush. He will get to say final words to his family. All privileges stolen from Benjamin Marconi.
That's why I understand that it could go down that path, and if it does, the law will be with me And when I go talk to the Lord and when I go to heaven, God knows I finally be at peace.